Hi, my name's Kate Bagby and I'm a third year here at the University of Virginia. Today I'm going to give you a tour of the grounds. The building we're standing outside of right now is Newcomb Hall. It's UVA's equivalent to a student union. Newcomb Hall is full of stuff that students use on a daily basis. In the basement is a big movie theater where movies are shown after they are out of the theaters, but before they're out on video for $3 a student. The next floor is the Bank of America, student travel agency, and our Student Activity Center, the central location for all student organizations. Also, on the first floor, there's an a la carte dining area called the PAV, short for Pavilion 11. It offers pretty much everything that's not available in the dining hall, including Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut, sushi, delis, a smoothie bar, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Milano cookies. Newcomb Hall is very central on grounds, so 10 minutes between class, a lot of students step out to the PAV to get a quick bite to eat. On the second floor, the entire floor is one of our main dining halls, called Newcomb Dining. Newcomb Dining offers a large variety every day, including vegan, kosher, chicken, and a lot of other food choices from around the world. You're required to have a meal plan your first year. There's another dining hall located right in the middle of first-year living area called Observatory Hill. You pretty much just roll out of bed, and you're right in this brand new facility built just 2 years ago. Continuing up Newcomb Hall, just between the second and third floor is the Kaleidoscope Room, built just 2 years ago. It includes a big plasma screen TV, comfortable chairs, and a game room. Another good place to rest between classes. The third floor, which is actually the level we are at right now, it has a big ballroom that hosts a lot of formal dances. The third floor also houses the student council offices, the conference rooms, where you can sometimes catch a guest speaker. Finally, the Honor Committee, Judiciary Committee, all their hearings and trial panels are on the fourth floor. Some of the other buildings that are around us right now are Peabody Hall, which houses the Office of Undergraduate Admission, and 3 of our 16 libraries. This is kind of what I call Library Central. Probably where you will do the majority of your studying is right here. To the right of Newcomb Hall, you can barely see it from here. That's Clemens Library, our main undergraduate library. Clemens has 4 distinct floors, and they kind of go in order of how quiet each individual floor is. The fourth floor, people call it Club Clemens because not a whole lot of individual work gets done up there. There are no noise restrictions, so you can throw a birthday party there and nobody would really know the difference. The ITC help desk is up there and a bunch of computers for students' use. The fourth floor is also a good place to meet for group work. 1 floor down is Robertson Media Center, where you can rent DVDs and videos as well as video equipment, and they'll also train you how to use the equipment, all completely free to students. As you go down, the building gets quieter, and on the first floor, it's completely silent. It's a great place for anyone who needs absolute silence to study. Right behind me is Alderman Library, built in 1938, and it's our main graduate library. Alderman has most of our traditional stacks, and it's where you go when you need to check out a lot of books. This building might look like 2 or 3 stories maybe, but it's actually 10 stories. There's a rule here at UVA that no building should be higher than the rotunda, which we'll see shortly. So a lot of the buildings that look like only 2 or 3 stories are actually 6, 8, or 10 stories, and partially built into a hill or even underground. One building that is pretty much built primarily underground is actually our third library here, the Harrison Special Collections. These skylights in back of me are part of the roof to where UVA keeps its rare books and special collections. UVA has an original copy of the Declaration of Independence, original Jefferson letters, etc., and we are one of the backup libraries for the Library of Congress. Before we move on, let me point out quickly the buildings behind you. That's the McIntire School of Commerce. UVA has a great commerce program. It was just ranked the 2nd best undergraduate business school in the nation by Business Week. The McIntire School will actually be moving in the upcoming years to the south part of the lawn. As we cross the street, all the buildings we see were designed by Jefferson back in 1819 when the college was founded. This is the original academical village. Jefferson hated big buildings. He thought they were ugly and conducive to disease. So in designing his university, he spread everything out. Jefferson also felt there should be a lot of interaction between the students and professors. So he designed places for both to live together here on the lawn. These large buildings on either side are called pavilions. There are 10 in total. The professors would live on the second floor and teach on the first floors. Interspersed among the 10 pavilions are 1-room dorms, 54 lawn rooms. Students still live in these rooms, and they're highly prized. Every year, over 300 students apply to be Lonnies, and only the cream of the crop get to be selected. The selection is not based on academics. What counts is what you've done during your time here to make UVA and Charlottesville a better place. So usually you'll find the honor chair, the student council president, and students that have done a lot of community service living here. The rooms are very small, they have no toilet or shower. Each room includes a sink, a fireplace, a bed, and that's about all there is room for. There's a little bit of a shock value the first time you see the student council president walking across the lawn in their robe, toting a loofah and shower caddy, but it's very worth it for a view like this as your front yard. Like the lawn rooms, the pavilions are still occupied by the professors, but now the entire pavilion is taken up by the professor and his or her family, with two exceptions. One is Pavilion 8, which you can barely see between the trees down there, and it still holds true to Jefferson's style of a professor living on the top floor and classes being taught on the bottom floor. A lot of students, especially first and second years, will just scroll through the course offering directory to see what classes are taught in Pavilion 8. If it's a nice day, the professor will offer to set up under those trees a circle of rocking chairs and we'll have class on the lawn. The other exception is Pavilion 7, which does not house a professor at all, but instead serves as a place for students, faculty, and alumni to interact, called the Colonnade Club. UVA is completely wireless, so on any given day you'll find people strewn out on the lawn with towels, sunbathing, and they'll have their laptops open writing a paper or just taking an exam. The rotunda behind me is the center of Jefferson's Village. The rotunda was never a chapel, church, or religious structure in any way, which is very unusual for institutions being built around this time. Jefferson was a huge proponent of separation of church and state, and he applied those ideas in his design. He created a half-size scale of the Roman Pantheon, and that's where he housed his original library on the top floor and used the lower floors for classroom space. He called this his Temple of Knowledge. I'd like to mention our honor system because I don't really think that you can come to UVA without fully understanding our honor system and how it works. A misrepresentation of UVA is that Jefferson created our honor system, but in actuality, he died in 1826, and our honor system wasn't created until 1842. Our honor system was created because of an incident in 1840 when a professor was shot by a student outside of Pavilion 10, all the way down there on the left. On his deathbed, everybody kept coming up to him and asking him, "Who shot you?" And he just kept saying, "I will never tell. The honorable man will come forward. If he's honorable enough to stay at Mr. Jefferson's University, he'll turn himself in." Well, the honorable man didn't turn himself in. He actually ended up leaving on his own accord within that same semester and went back home to Georgia. But 2 years later, through student-faculty interaction, our honor system was created. It started out as no spitting, no cursing in front of women, no cheating at cards, stuff like that. But it's evolved since then to include the basic tenets of no lying, cheating, or stealing. As you'll soon learn, even on our application, we have a pledge saying, if you are accepted to UVA, you will not lie, cheat, or steal here. When you go inside of a classroom, you'll see a plaque to remind us of this promise. But every student has it memorized. We sign what is on the plaque, whether it's a 5-point homework assignment or a 30% of your grade final exam. And the plaque says, "On my honor as a student, I have neither given nor received aid on this exam or assignment." And then you sign your name. Never before had I had a professor slap a big final exam on my desk and say, "You have 3 hours, close note, good luck, have fun, bring it back to me by 5. Never before as a student did I have that type of trust. UVA has the oldest student-run single-sanction honor code in the country, which means if you're brought up on an honor charge, you're represented by a student, you go in front of a panel of students, and if you're found guilty, it's single-sanction, so you are asked to leave UVA.